Welcome back to Advocacy Alchemy with Professor Ross. Tonight we got a good one, guys. Domestic threats in Ohio, knife incident after breakup. Now, our only charge tonight is domestic violence. This is out of Ohio. Now, key thing to keep in mind, in this lecture, we're not just focusing on the crime itself. Domestic violence and the related charges, those aren't really the important topic to examine here. The real focus is fairness, okay? The law is designed to be impartial. It treats everyone equally, regardless of their status, power, or their gender. We've looked at how the law applies to different celebrities, powerful individuals, and even everyday citizens. Now, let's take a look closer at how the law applies between men and women. This case is a perfect example of how justice strives to remain blind. Enjoy the video and we'll discuss the law at the end.
Stop hitting me.
And that's on your dead ass, bitch. Call the police right now.
You put the knife down, bro.
Right I'm ready to go. I mean it.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm ready to go to jail right now.
What's that mean? Put the knife down.
I'm ready to go to jail right now.
What does that mean?
Let's go. Please. Call them right now. Call them right now.
And then what?
You're
going to stay
in jail right now.
You're going to jail now for hitting me.
Call them right now.
Stop hitting me.
Call them right now. Call them right now.
Stop hitting me,
Call
bro.
them right now.
And put the knife down.
Got on my kids. I'm ready. Go. I'm in jail. No.
Threatening.
I'm sick and tired of your ass.
Tired of what? Stop poking at me with a knife. I just said I don't want to be with you. That's not talking down on you, you psycho. I'm allowed to not want to be with you.
That's not what I'm mad.
Stop, bro.
Get mad.
Stop.
You're still not getting it.
Stop.
You're still not getting it. You're still not.
You're going to do all this shit because I said I don't want to be with you? Stop poking that knife at me. Stop hitting me. Bro.
We got into a fight and obviously I'm on my way out.
What was the fight about?
Honestly it was about dumb shit that shouldn't even turn into a fight. Honestly.
Well, like what?
Using the outlet and saying that this is his house and I'm paying $1,000 here and it's still only his house, stuff like that.
Okay. Was there ever a sharp object brought out?
I mean, there's glass on the floor.
Okay.
There's everything else.
Well, was there ever, like, what I'm talking is, was there ever a knife possessed by you?
No.
Okay.
He needs to really stop that. Seriously.
Well, I'm gonna ask you again.
Okay.
Okay. And honesty goes a long way.
Okay.
Was there ever a knife pulled out?
Yes. But
Okay.
he kept on walking up on me.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure he probably has that in whatever video. But I literally said, and you can hear me say, stop walking up on me. You can hear me say that. So, like.
And you guys, when you guys were arguing, did it ever become physical at any point?
What do you mean?
Like.
Did I try to hit him with a knife?
No. Did you ever physically assault him?
I mean, I was trying to get him away from me. He had, like, you can't.
I just want to know your side.
Exactly, because that's not fucking fair. I'm trying to be calm, but that's not fair for him to do that and act like he can't do that to me. He can't do that to me. I cannot believe this shit. Wow, like, are you fucking kidding me?
Can you tell us what he did?
He was okay, so grabbing me up by my shirt, telling me, you gotta get the fuck out, you gotta get the fuck out. I'm pushing him back, and he's pushing me back, and he's grabbing me by my hair, that's why my hair is fucking coming off.
Is this a dog in this room?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
And it was just getting too crazy, honestly. Like, it was getting too much. We're pushing and shoving each other into the TV. TV almost fell over. Like, honestly, it got crazy. And I just got too much. It was too much. I was scared. And he was scared, obviously, because he keeps saying that he was scared. Wow. I cannot believe this. Like,
Do you have
he's
any
not.
marks on you?
He's not. Probably on my arms or something or on my leg. I have no clue. I really don't know.
You said where was he grabbing you?
By my straps, by my shoulders.
Okay.
And pulling my hair, but this is a wig.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't. That's not fair.
And during the fight today, you said he was grabbing you?
Yes.
Okay.
This fight today,
Okay.
and you can, if he has that video, and you can hear me in the video saying, "Don't stay away from me, get away from me, please." So if he has that video, he should show it to you guys because you can't play victim when we're both fighting each other. That's not fair to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair, man. Seriously. And he's gonna try to make it seem like I'm some bully. I'm not no bully.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm ready to go to jail right now.
I've never bullied anyone in my life. That's not fair, bro. Like, seriously, if he's gonna do that, I'm pressing charges on him for the shit that he's done to me, and that's period, bro. That's not fair. Because if you're going to, we were both in a fight. There was never once where anybody was up on the other or was the main aggressor. No, period, point blank. No.
Can you turn around real quick? I just want to.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything. I can't see.
Alright. So we were able to see the video. Obviously, saw the knife.
Right.
Saw you smack him upside. Looked like the head a few times.
Probably.
Okay. The video, I never saw him striking you or grabbing
No,
you.
that is what he does. He pulls out a video after he starts a fight. He can't. No, that's what he does.
I'm just trying to get your side of the story.
This is literally what he does. He will start an argument. He will say the craziest shit, and then do something, and then pull out a phone every fucking time. There's been times where he has called me a fucking N-word, and pulled out a phone and watched my reaction, bro. Like that's not.
Have you ever called the police on him?
No, not in a few years because I don't want to deal with the police. I don't want to do it. I'd rather not do it that way. That's why I'm putting on my pants to fucking leave. I can't believe he's playing victim right now. Like I'm pressing charges on him because he's not getting away with it this time. Like you don't get to play victim. And
What charges do you want to press on him?
putting his hands on me, whatever charges it is for that assault or domestic violence, whatever it is, and I'm going to either way because you're not doing this to me, bro. Like you're not doing. He's a fucking manipulator. He does that shit all the fucking time. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay. I'm pressing charges.
Do you have shoes anywhere?
Yes.
Where are the shoes at?
Where are you guys taking me?
Right now, I just want to know where your shoes are. 192?
Yeah.
It's in the sink.
It's
In the sink? Okay.
Do you have your purse or wallet or anything like that?
Yeah. So am I gonna be able to press charges or what?
You'll have your side of the story.
Yeah.
100%. It'll be all in the same case.
So I can't. There's nothing that can.
It'll be in the same case.
So I have to go to jail and he doesn't right now.
So right now, everything that we do is working on proof, right? All that I have from you is the allegation, correct? We looked at you trying to see if we found marks. We clearly don't see any. We do, however, have a video of you swinging a knife around and smacking him upside the head.
He pulled that out. He pulled the video out after
I
in the
understand,
middle
but-
of an argument.
But we still have to act on the evidence.
So
Right.
we see the
Are you serious
physical
right now?
altercation of you stepping towards him and striking him multiple times with a knife in your offhand.
Wow.
And that's what we're going on. We tried, like my partner said, we tried to observe
Wow.
the marks that you stated, you know.
Can you go ask him to not do this right now?
So the way that this works, state of Ohio takes domestic violence very seriously. After us seeing that, he doesn't really have an option. The state is going to mandate that an arrest happens today. Okay? So if you would, go ahead.
Can I call someone really, really quick?
Not just yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Can you hold this?
Yep.
Hands behind your back. Palms together like you're praying, okay? Anything on you today that's going to poke me, stick me, stab me, or hurt me? Alright.
Ma'am, is the front door the easiest way to go out?
Yep.
Right.
That's something that you can speak with
Yeah.
down at Leary Municipal Court. You know, which door?
This door.
Right here.
Okay. Do you want me to? Oh, he comes up, right? He comes up. Okay. It's a Wu-Tang shirt.
What's that?
Wu-Tang shirt. You know anything? Clearly, you don't know anything about Wu-Tang.
I don't.
Never mind.
I don't know.
Okay, so how'd you feel about that one? Do you see how the law treated her fairly? Or do you think the law treated her fairly? Or do you think she was treated badly by the law? Let's jump into our one charge, which is domestic violence. You heard the officer say at the end there that Ohio treats domestic violence seriously. Let's see what the law says here. All right. My search was, I simply put in here, I said, let me have the Ohio law for domestic assault and domestic battery. And it pulled back, it said, in Ohio, the legal framework for offenses involving harm or threats to family or household members is primarily outlined under the term domestic violence. The state does not distinguish between domestic assault and domestic battery as separate offenses. Instead, domestic violence encompasses various actions, including physical harm, attempts to cause harm, and threats of imminent harm. All right, according to Ohio Revised Code, section 2919.25, domestic violence occurs when an individual, 1, knowingly causes or attempts to cause physical harm to a family or household member. Number 2, recklessly causes serious physical harm to a family or household member. Number 3, by threat of force, knowingly causes a family or household member to believe that the offender will cause imminent physical harm. Now, you know you need a definition of what is a family or household member, and they do that next. All right, that includes a spouse, a former spouse, or a person living as a spouse, a parent, a foster parent, or a child of the offender, other relatives by blood or marriage who reside with or have resided with the offender, the natural parent of any child of whom the offender is the other natural parent, or the putative other natural parent. Now, let's go back to the first one, the spouse, former spouse, the person living as a spouse. Person living as a spouse is a live-in boyfriend or girlfriend, okay? Some states outline, and they actually put in there, people having a current or present or recently past dating relationship. All right. But in Ohio, they say living as a spouse. Okay. Penalties for domestic violence. The severity of penalties for domestic violence in Ohio depends on factors such as prior convictions and the nature of the offenses. First degree misdemeanor. All right. That carries up to 180 days in jail, a fine of up to $1,000. It can be a fourth degree felony if the offender has a prior domestic violence conviction. That's 6 to 18 months in prison, a fine of up to $5,000. The third degree felony, that's when you have multiple prior convictions. The penalty can range from 9 months in prison up to 3 years in prison, and the fine can be up to $10,000. Additionally, if the offender knew the victim was pregnant, all right, that can be an additional term. And they say that's actually a mandatory prison sentence. Now you have protective orders, all right, and they call it a protection order in Ohio, a civil protective or protection order there. All right, and they have different provisions. The provisions are such as they can prohibit the offender from contacting or approaching the victim. They can grant the victim the exclusive possession of the shared residence, and they can grant temporary custody arrangements for minor children. All right, violating a CPO is a criminal offense and can lead to some additional charges. All right, I asked for a little bit more refinement on the punishments for domestic violence, and let's go over those briefly. All right, domestic violence by threats. That's the number one. All right, they say it's a 4th-degree misdemeanor. That's 30 days in jail and a fine of up to $250. All right, this happens when the offender, by threat of force, knowingly causes a family or household member to believe they will cause imminent physical harm. All right. 3rd-degree misdemeanor. All right, this is a penalty up to 60 days in jail, a fine up to $500 when the offender knew the victim was pregnant at the time of the offense. This is when this is applicable. 2nd degree, up to 90 days in jail, a fine of up to $750 when you have a prior domestic violence. 1st-degree misdemeanor, up to half a year in jail, a fine of up to $1,000 when you have 2 or more prior domestic violence convictions. And that's just for threats. The second one is dealing with domestic violence by physical harm or attempted harm. The 1st-degree misdemeanor on the first attempt, that's or the first occurrence, that's up to half a year in jail, a fine of up to $1,000, and that's when the offender knowingly causes or attempts to cause physical harm to a family or household member. It's a 5th-degree felony, which carries a penalty of 6 months up to 1 year in prison and a fine of up to $2,500. All right, that's when you knew the victim was pregnant. The 4th degree, 6 to 18 months in prison, fine of up to $5,000. That's when you have a prior domestic violence conviction. 3rd-degree felony, 9 to 36 months in prison, fine of up to $10,000. That's when you have 2 or more convictions. Look at these additional considerations here. You have the mandatory minimum sentence, all right, and that's when a victim is pregnant or the offender knew of a pregnancy. Let's see, firearm restriction. All right, a domestic violence conviction may result in the restriction on the offender's rights to own or possess a firearm. Let's see, that's about it there. Now, I will say, and it definitely had it for each of those searches they have at the bottom there, encouraging people to go and seek out the advice of an attorney if they're dealing with a situation involving domestic violence. And that's true. If you're dealing with a situation involving domestic violence, do reach out to a certified legal professional in your area and see what options you have available for yourself. Don't remain in those types of situations. That's for your own well-being. Now, with that, let's move into probable cause. Now, we've talked about probable cause daily here recently for the past week or so, and I think it's going to be a reoccurring thing. It's a good one to build and have into your wheelhouse and your toolbox as we move forward. Let's go over them quickly, and then we'll be done for today. Number 1, mere suspicion. Remember, that's a generality. That's just a very base, that's a speculation. It's pure speculation. If we're going to assign a number to mere suspicion, that would be about anything less than 10% of the evidence points to a person being the criminal who committed the crime. All right. So anything from 10 to 25% would be probably a reasonable suspicion. To get a reasonable suspicion, you need to have some articulable facts that point to a person being the culprit, being the suspect that committed the crime. As I said, anything from about 10 to 25% of evidence points to this person being that culprit we're looking for. Next, you have probable cause. Probable cause is what's needed for an arrest to happen, for an arrest warrant to be signed, for a search warrant to be signed, you must have probable cause. All right, that's a little bit more. That means you have probably up to about 35% of the evidence points to this person being the culprit or the suspect that committed a crime. All right, you have to have some very individualized facts pointing to this person doing whatever is alleged. Next, you have to the preponderance of the evidence. That's 51%. When you have 51% of the evidence saying that a person did whatever the thing were that's being alleged by the government. All right. Beyond that, you have clear and convincing evidence. This is more likely than not. That's 75% of the evidence points to a person committing a crime or having done whatever the law is portraying them to have done. For a conviction to happen in the United States, you need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a person committed the crime. All right, that's the highest standard. That's what's required for a conviction. That's anywhere from 90 to 95% of the evidence must point to a person having done something. That's what's required for a conviction, and that's what's required to send someone to the penalty of penitentiary. All right. Here, the police have probable cause based on the video that was produced by the man. We watched the video first, and that's what gave the police probable cause to come and arrest her. They gave them reasonable suspicion at first, okay? They came and questioned her, and then they listened to her side, and then they informed her that they've watched the video, and by that time they had reached probable cause to arrest her for the offense of domestic violence. So with that, how do you feel about this today? Do you see where we're going? All right, we're building a framework for your legal knowledge. Today we're dealing with men and women, how the law is blind. All right, a man can bring a domestic violence charge also. Leave your comments below. We'll come back tomorrow with another lecture. This is Advocacy Alchemy. I am Professor Ross. You all have a good day.